It's now time for the Mark Kotsay Show right here brought to you by NestBetting.com. It's here on A's Cast and A's Cast Live. Love where you sleep. Go to Nest Betting for all your betting, your mattress, your sheets, your pillows, you name it. They got the special pillow going right now. You go to NestBetting.com. Use the coupon code Oakland to get 10% off your entire order. The skipper, Mark Kotsay, is with us. Opening day, always so special. You've had a lot. You've had a lot as a player, as a coach. This is your second as a manager. How's it feel?
It feels the same in terms of the excitement around it. There's not a better day than opening day in baseball and sports, and just the buzz, the atmosphere. You wake up to text messages of guys just excited about watching baseball today.
Well, and I think about for you, it's about winning. As much as the hoopla and the bunting and all the festivities, this game, they all matter. All 162 matter. And I know this season, probably a little different for you. You knew it was chaotic going in because of basically the lockout and the shortened spring training. This year, different ball game.
Yeah, different ball game. We had a full spring training, which we haven't had in 3 years, dating back to 2020 when COVID hit and spring training was postponed. And so it was a different spring. A lot of new faces here to the club. We went through a transition last year with a lot of change kind of during spring training and into the season. And this year that took place in the off season. So we've had a little bit of time to be together to try to build a culture and an identity. And, I think this team, we've put the work in and we're ready to start a season.
So tell A's fans out there, what excites you about this roster, the team, the makeup of these guys?
I think the biggest thing, you look at the young youth talent that we're starting out with. You look at Shea Langley behind the plate, Estuary Ruiz in center field, the additions of some veteran players that have won. Aledmus Diaz, who was on the Houston Astros World Series team last year. So his leadership, his experience with winning baseball was welcomed with wide open arms. And you've got Jace Peterson, who's been on playoff teams. You've Jesus Aguilar, who's been on playoff teams. We're looking for a big year out of Ramon Laureano. Who doesn't want to watch Ramon play when he's healthy and when he's doing it? So, it's exciting. We've got a lot of young arms, and it may take time for these young arms to reach their full maturity. But you know what? We're excited about them, and they've got big futures.
Some people look at it and say, well, the A's aren't going to win a lot of ball games. What do you say to people that say that?
I say we're gonna win every day we get out here and have that opportunity. We're going to attack with that mindset. Obviously we have our challenges in front of us that we understand, and we're going to take each game one day at a time and take the positives from those games and continue to build, continue to grow.
When you think about the roster being set now we know. We talked to you down at spring training where so much is about versatility, being able to play a lot of different positions. Like all of a sudden you're like, well, now you can have Diaz at short. You also have Nick Allen at short. Well, you talk about guys are going to play all over the place. How important is that if you're going to be on this roster, you play a lot of different positions?
Well, it definitely gives flexibility, I think. And as you talked about, versatility in this game is valued probably greater than it has been in the past. But we do have some flexibility. We can make some moves late game to get some matchups. And I think you've seen that's how this organization has done things in the past, how they've had success. Let's rewind. Let's rewind back to when I got here in 2016 as the bench coach. 15 and 16 were similar, kind of seasons where you saw some youth, you saw them touch the big leagues. You saw Matt Olson for the first time. You end up seeing in 17 a group of young players start out the year and build a culture, build an identity. And I think there's a lot of similarities in that with this group as well.
Yeah, you started seeing guys like Olson and Chapman, and we know the kind of run that you went on. And there's something about at this level, and for all your years playing, you can speak to this, is that you got to learn. You just don't show up and say, hey, we're good. Let's roll the jocks out and see what happens. I mean, you've got to learn how to win at this level, do it on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, you really do. And that's fact. And that team did learn how to win. They started at the end of 17, and then they rolled it into 18, 19, 20, 21. And I think there's some similarities to this group with the youthfulness. You look at the young pitching staffs that started out in Oakland, that started the success of the 2000s with Hudson, Zito, Mulder. Now you got names like Mueller, Waldachek. So there are some areas that we're really excited about in the youth, and then there's some veteran guys that we've mixed in that have won, that've come off some championship teams that can teach them how to do that as well.
Something that you and Scott Emerson have to be really still working on the game plan of is you're going to use a lot of starters, right? If Fuji's going to go every Saturday on weeks where you don't have days off, because we'll roll off 13, 14 straight games, you're going to be juggling a lot of different guys. Have you thought about that? Whether it's 5, 5.5, because we were used to just, here's your 5. Now it's 5.5, 6. I like to call the 5.5 the swingman, someone like, an Aller or Sears. Just have you thought that out in your mind, how that's going to play out?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the roster configuration, I mean, we talked about going, it's a 5-man rotation with Fuji being, to start out the year pitching every Saturday, which, we have some days off mixed in, but those days off for those other 4 pitchers don't really count as a day off. It's not, where you can push a guy back. It counts as a day that it's in their scheduled either 4-day or 5-day, break before they take the mound. So it's definitely mapped out. But anything that's mapped out usually changes, right, in this game. So we're definitely gonna have our work cut out for us. There's some spot starts in there like you talked about, and like I mentioned to start this conversation with the roster configuration. There's 2 long guys in the bullpen, 2 guys that have been in our rotation that have started last year, started for us, and they're gonna get their fair opportunity of to pitch in games. And we'll see how this thing works out.
As Mike Tyson always said, everybody has a game plan until they get hit in the face, and then everything changes real quick. Quickly, let's go over just the rule changes. You stole a lot of bases in spring training. We talked about that being in spring training. Do you see yourself being more? We're going to get aggressive. We're going to take 90 feet. We're going to own 90 feet. We're going to steal bags this season.
Yeah, our roster exists in that way, in that manner, and I think we're going to find our opportunities to take advantage of the disengagement rule, which enables or takes away from their opportunity to pick over more than 2 times, and we can extend leads. We can try to get better extensions and better timing from that standpoint to take advantage of those rules. And I think if there's one thing to really be excited about, if you're sitting back listening to this and you're an Oakland A's fan, that Estuary Ruiz has 80 speed. This kid's electric, and he's going to be something to watch this season.
I've already seen in games today, balls hit up the middle that would have been outs because of no shifting are now base hits. I saw one from Bo Bichette earlier, was like, oh, that would have been an out. I think of the first game between the Yankees and the Giants at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. It was history made on most strikeouts by 2 starting pitchers in Cole and Webb. And normally a game like that's going to be well over 3 hours, 2 hours and 33 minutes. So are you excited about the pace of the game?
Yeah, I think the fans are excited about the pace. The pace came from the survey that was put out there by Major League Baseball last year. And the 2 things of importance for the fans were game time and stolen bases. And so I think throughout spring training, we saw both of those issues addressed. They were both, the data provided exact results for what took place, and that was, like you said, more stolen bases, and the game time average was 235. So you had 30 punch outs in a game today for opening day between 2 teams, and like you said, normally those games would take 3+ hours, and it was still a 233.
I'm excited. I'm excited about your leadership. I'm excited what you bring to this team, how you control the clubhouse, the respect that they have for you. Last year was it was just, we knew what it was, right? It was what it was. This year, it's different. Spring training was different. Your message was different. I'm really excited. You as excited as me for your second year?
I am. Yes, I am. And there's there's more anxiety to a second year, right? Because you have those expectations and what's in front of you. So the challenges are there, and we're going to tackle them, and we're going to continue to get better every day and grind this thing out.
And we're excited for you.
Buddy. Thank you.
That's the Mark Kotsay Show, brought to you by NestBedding.com. Love where you sleep. Go to their locations in the Bay Area or online for your mattress that his family sleeps on. And, of course, for all your bedding, your pillows, everything, you go to NestBedding.com. Use the coupon code Oakland.